on this computer. Hi, welcome to our call. We are just testing the recording real quick here, but we are going to be hopping on in a minute and are very excited to welcome you. So we will see you in just a sec. Okay.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here tonight. My name is Kelly Brown. Just a little bit about me. I'm a two-star diamond lifetime star diamond. That's a mouthful. Wow. Okay, let's start over. I'm a two-star lifetime diamond coach. I've been coaching for 4 years this July. So I'm super thankful for you guys being here tonight. This is a gift that we have in our team. Michelle and I are excited to have these leaders here with us to share with you. And we're just thankful that you're taking the time to be here, whether it's listening to a recording or being on the call live tonight. We're just going to be taking this time to give you the opportunity to kind of see what we consider a special gift that we have.
Yeah, so I'm Michelle, and thank you, Kelly. I love this lady. She's my accountability partner. She's the first coach that signed up with me that ran with it. And I never would have expected that, but I am, and I'm so blessed by her. But we run the team together. I'm a two-star diamond coach. I'm lifetime diamond coach. I'm a founder of Team Fearless. Kelly's a founder of Team Freedom, and together we've combined and decided we form the Fearless Freedom family. So I've been coaching for 4 years since last February. So actively.
So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take some time to kind of run like a panel. We're going to have a series of questions, and each coach will go through and take some time to answer, kind of sharing from our heart. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up with some questions, like Q&A for you guys. So we've introduced ourselves kind of briefly. We're going to share some more meat to it as we go through. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So the first question I'm going to ask to Angie Bradley. Can you take a little minute to introduce yourself and share a little bit about you and what got you started?
Sure. Everybody, my name is Angie Bradley. I'm a homeschooling mom of 9. And I started coaching because I felt like that there was more out there for me. And I was already I love homeschooling and I love my kids, but I needed something that I knew was going to be there for me later. And I was already keeping some of my friends accountable through texting with fitness. So I figured I might as well try this and see how it goes. And I changed my mind. I was 7 months pregnant with my 9th child when I decided to jump in, which probably is not the ideal time to jump in and start coaching, but I did it anyway because I figured I should just get started wherever I was because there was never going to be a really good time for me. My life is a little too crazy for there to be a good time, so I just had to make a good time. So I figured I should get started and see if I can help others change their lives. And what I found out was when I started coaching was that I was helped much more than I got helped, then I was able to help other people. And that's how it's been all along. It's been an awesome journey and trip in this last 2 years. And now, let's see, it is Eileen's turn to do the same thing.
Hi guys, so my name is Eileen and I am married almost 3 years now. I have a beautiful 18-month-old daughter and I'm pregnant with number 2 right now. I did not want to coach, but my coach actually just kept saying, hey, you're encouraging everybody in our groups, like you should totally just do this. Like you might as well be a coach and jump in. And I was like, I don't know, let me talk to my husband. My husband was like, yeah, definitely, you should do it. So that was for sure for me that he was supportive. And so, before I started this journey, I had lost a lot of confidence because I had just had a baby. I was dealing with postpartum depression, and I used to be known as like joyful Eileen. And so it was really hard for me to no longer be that person. And so I kind of went through an identity crisis, and starting my first 7-day refocus group totally changed my life. Doing that personal development every day changed my life. And I wanted to give that back to other people. And so that's why I decided to coach. And it's just, I don't even look back. Like, I'm so glad I said yes to this.
That's awesome.
And sorry, it's Holly.
Okay.
Holly was for you.
Guys, this is our first big webinar, and everyone's kind of nervous, but we're all trying to make it smooth. So smooth as
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm a mom of 3 little kids. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. I am married to my high school sweetheart, and this summer we'll be celebrating our 7-year wedding anniversary. In fact, I turned 30 and we'll be together for 15 years total, so I know my husband for half my life. It's kind of crazy. But I'm also, by day or night, I'm actually an OB nurse and soon to be a nurse in a clinic for natural technology and functional health, which is really cool because it ties all of this wonderfulness together. But helping to empower women, helping them to feel beautiful and strong and worthy is a huge passion that I have. And that was something I had prior to Beachbody. I started this whole process because I felt very lost and alone after my 3rd baby. And so I was overweight. I literally shoved all of my clothes, gave it away, my pre-pregnancy clothes, because I thought this is what a mom of 3 is supposed to be like. It's how I'm supposed to feel, how I'm supposed to live my life. And I was just really tired. So my coach bugged me for a couple months, and then I finally said yes. So that's a little bit about me. Rebecca's next here.
Hey guys, I'm Rebecca Huff. I've been married now for a little over 10 years. We have 4 children. We actually have a 7.5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and twins that are about to be 4, and we're expecting number 5, so praying that everything works out great, and we have 5 children. I actually started in a challenge group a little over a year ago, and Kelly is actually the one that invited me, and the reason I initially jumped in was because I was in a funk. I was in a bad place in my life. I used to work in corporate America. I'd become a stay-at-home mom. My background was in accounting and IT, and I just felt like I wasn't doing enough. Even though I was taking care of 4 babies at home and trying to run the house and keep up with everybody, I just felt like there was more out there. And what I have found out is I actually have a heart to serve others and to help others. And once I got into the challenge group and I started plugging in and I just saw the fire in it, and it was just so much fun. And I realized just being in the challenge group, supporting other people was just helping me in my own journey. And so for me, it was more of accountability. I knew if I had to continue to support others, I would be accountable in my own journey. And so that's just it kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. It was helping me in my own journey, plus giving me that fulfillment that I didn't even realize was missing. I just knew I was in a funk. I was feeling like there was more out there. And this was the avenue where I was able to fulfill that. So Kelly, it's your turn.
I won't bumble over my words as much this time. Just a little bit about me. So I have been a coach for 4 years, as I shared. I'm a mom of 7. Number 7 is coming end of August. I first started coaching after following Michelle on social media for a while. I had my 5th kid and was really like super busy, but very lonely. I was constantly volunteering. My husband was involved in ministry. He was gone all the time. We were always doing, but I felt alone. So I finally reached out and did a 10-day challenge. And at the end of the 10 days, I didn't want to stop. So I signed up, and I signed up to coach, honestly, just for the discount. I wanted to save money because we were on a really tight budget. And I felt like if this would help so that I could get it, like stay in that community, I would do it. I never had any intention beyond that. But what I found through coaching was it made me step out of my comfort zone. And the more I stepped out of my comfort zone, the more I discovered the gifts that I had that I was afraid to acknowledge. And I healed so much, which we'll share more later. But it provided something I didn't realize I lacked, which was that community, because even though I had a house full of people, I felt alone and I felt like I needed something more. And so it was really a vessel to give me that more, that connection where I could lift others up and they lifted me up, and relate on a different level, which was really special. So, and then I'm going to hand it over to Michelle.
All right. I'll tell you what, I've been excited all day about this call because being able to be on here with these women, guys, my life does not look like now, like what it looked like before. And that is why I'm coaching. When I first signed up to coach, I was desperate. I had an eating disorder. I hated myself every second of every day and reminded myself constantly of how unworthy I was of anything. And I signed up to do my first challenge, and I signed up as a discount coach, intending to cancel everything after 30 days, you know. And what I found was within 90 days, I had a transformation in my body, and people started asking, what are you doing? So I decided to coach. I'm like, if they can do it, I'd see these other successful people. I'm like, if they can do it, then I should be able to do it too. I've worked in the corporate world. I've worked in IT. I knew about network marketing, and I tried it before, and I was a little nervous, which is why I said I would never coach at the beginning. But I saw that this is something that would change my life. So I decided to do it. And what I found was it was the beginning of a transformation story of the outside in. I'm not the same person I was before, and I'm going to share more, like Kelly said, about that in a little bit. But being able to every single day wake up and connect with people who are women who are positive, women who have experienced this transformation, who when I'm falling apart, I can reach out to, like to have that safety net to fall has just, it is life-changing and transforming because like Holly said, too often there's so much hurt in this world, and to have a really soft place to land, like that's my absolute most wonderful favorite thing about the Fearless Freedom family. All the rest of the transformations are awesome too, but that's like the biggest and the bestest. So as my kiddos would say. All right, Kelly.
Okay, well, we're going to start off and talk a little more in detail about our transformations, and just share kind of, we've talked to you a little bit why we got started, but now we want to talk to you a little bit about how it's made that change in us. So we're going to start off like we did last time with Angie.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to mute her. Okay. So I was thinking about the transformation, and I was always kind of a gym rat, so working out was not a big transformation for me. I had some physical ones after baby was born, but the biggest transformation for me has been a change in my willingness to open up to people and in my heart. I've been much more willing to open up about my struggles and the things that are going on in my life and the things that are hard. And sharing my story with people, which I really, really didn't want to do when I started, because I thought that I was going to, set myself up for ridicule and for people to, unfriend me and not like me and all those things. And what I've realized is that this has become like a mission for me to help people by sharing my story so that they can join with me and I can show them what I've learned and how that they can get there too. So, and you know what? If I can help one person by sharing my story, it's become like a mission for me to be able to do that. And every day I wake up and I think, okay, who can I try to serve today? And how can I make this a more important life that I'm serving other people? So that's been my biggest transformation. So I don't remember. Is it Eileen that's next?
Yeah.
Okay, Eileen, you're...
So the biggest transformation for me, I lost about 30 pounds, a little over 30 pounds in 6 months. So that was huge for me because that really boosted my confidence, obviously. And Rebecca hit it on the nail on the head when she said the coaching was accountability, because I had to show up because I had challengers showing up. And so it really was my driving force to hit that weight loss goal. But the biggest thing even outside of that was just confidence in myself, because one of the things that we do is that personal development every day, just 10 minutes of reading something really great. And that really changed my life. I can honestly say that is number one, the biggest element of transformation in my life. I just feel an abundance of joy in my life because of that personal development. And it's the one thing, even if I'm, dealing with morning sickness right now in my pregnancy. So even if I'm feeling sick, that personal development still happens if I can't do a full workout, because the mind matters to me more than anything else. And I've learned that through this whole journey as a coach. So yeah, that's the biggest transformation for me. So Holly.
This one's really hard for me to narrow down because I didn't think I needed so much work. I thought I just had my baby weight to lose, and that's all I needed to do and achieve through the challenge group. And I, just like Michelle said, I had every intention to cancel my account I'll be honest, I signed up as a discount coach because I thought, okay, if I can convince my husband that I can pay for my month, he'll let me do it. It's not going to affect the family, and then I'll cancel it and be done. And what I found is, like Elaine said too, as well, the accountability helps me, as a coach, having to do it, that accountability, I needed that. I was always part of teams growing up, and I needed that teamwork. And that's what I found a lot in our team that we have here. The biggest thing is I've been able to keep off my weight now successfully for over a year. And even though I fall down, I get back up so much sooner. The mental strength I feel like I have now through personal development, that's priceless. And I'm not someone to read. And so I started out listening, and I listened while I cooked supper. I listened while I was getting ready in the morning. So it doesn't necessarily just have to mean reading a book for 10 minutes. But that has helped my self-confidence. Probably the biggest part is the self-confidence. It's just amazing how it's changed my life, and it's so hard to narrow down, but there's a lot of inner growth and things that have changed that people see the outward, but they don't see the inward necessarily all the time. So that's my biggest change. So Rebecca, your turn.
All right. So when I was thinking about this, I've realized that I actually haven't shared hardly any of this on social media, which is, if you've been following any of us, you know that we share a little bit, and that's how people get to know us and get to know who we are and what we do and how we have a heart to serve others. But I actually, when I started my journey, like I said, I was kind of in a funk. I had 4 kids. I had twins that were 2. And I still had about 20 pounds to lose. And since then, I've lost the 20 pounds pretty quickly. A little bit came off or came back on, and then I was able to get it off. But then I had blood work probably about 6 months ago, just for health insurance. And I'm no longer pre-diabetic. My cholesterol is the best it's ever been. I no longer have any more highs and lows with my glucose levels. I don't have to check my glucose levels anymore. And it's huge. I have a 5'1" frame. I'm short. 5 pounds, an extra 5-10 pounds on me is actually a lot of weight. It may not be on somebody that's 5'7", 5'8", 5'10", taller, but on a 5'1" frame, it's quite a bit. And it really, really affects my cholesterol and being pre-diabetic, because I'm genetically predisposed to that already. So if I don't have my weight in check and my health in check, then I'm not healthy. I may have looked healthy on the outside. People were like, oh, you're fine. You don't have any weight to lose. You're in shape. And I'm like, no, I feel like crap. My doctor wants to put me on medication. I'm taking my glucose levels. Like, it's just, guys, it's not worth it. And I can tell you now, in hindsight, I'm just so happy that I took that step and started giving my body the time that it needed and focusing on my nutrition and exercise. So for me, the physical transformation, I would say, was pretty huge based on what I needed to do to get myself in a much better place, which in turn, when you're healthier, you feel better, you're in a better mood. I'm more patient with my kids. I'm nicer to my husband sometimes. No, unless like the pre-pregnancy, early pregnancy stuff. And by the way, like that goes into like the emotional transformation. I just shared that we're pregnant with our 5th. That is not public knowledge. So you guys have to keep it a secret. I know this video is going to be shared, but that just goes back to, this is a safe place to share. And it has been since I started. It has been since I jumped into the challenge group. Not even since I became a coach, just since I became a challenger. It was automatically just a safe place to share. And I've always been a personal development junkie. So when I found out that we needed to, that part of this was working on our personal development journey, I was so excited. But now I have too many books that I can't finish. And my job is to focus on 1 at a time, or 2 or 3 at a time, and no more than that. So I would say for me, that's the biggest physical and emotional transformations that I've had, and just learning to care for myself, and that not to be scared to share with others. That honestly, it's part of like getting over yourself. I have to get over myself enough to share with others and not fear the rejection so much. So anyway, all right, Kelly, it's your turn.
I love when you hear like when Rebecca was sharing, and then, Holly and Eileen and Angie, like everybody's transformations are different, but there's a common thread of that safe place to experience it. For me, I would say the greatest transformation that's happened for me, I had the same, it's kind of like with Holly, like, oh, I just need to lose a little bit of weight. I'll get the last one's baby weight off and I'll feel good. But what hit me was about 60 days into my first challenge, I wanted to quit. And I remember Michelle said, why do you want to quit? And I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask that question. Like, nobody likes to answer why. Like, when your kid asks you why, you want to be like, because I said so. You know what I mean? But she asked, and I started thinking, and it made me realize I had this tremendous fear of failure. But I also had a tremendous fear of actually being comfortable in my skin, like actually liking myself. So my biggest transformation has come from that. Like, I'm now pregnant with number 7 and gaining the same amount of weight I always gained, but I have a different perspective that I've never had. Like, I feel good. Even on the days I feel blah, I know the truth and I've experienced the truth in a deeper way. So I would say that my marriage is better. My husband and I did marriage ministry for years together, and we were struggling in our own marriage. And I've learned to receive his compliments and believe them, which was huge because I would reject them. And I was afraid to parent my kids. I had 5, now I have soon to be 7. I was so afraid of messing up. I was literally distancing myself from them. But because I'm learning to be comfortable in who I am, I love my kids. Like, I don't mind. I know failure is just part of the process now. And that has been my biggest transformation. And I just want to provide that for other people, to know that they can have that freedom, which is where Team Freedom came from for me, because I overcame fear and I overcame that, I might not be comfortable, but I can be comfortably uncomfortable. And that has been huge for me. And so I would say by far, through personal development, prayer, stepping out of my comfort zone and losing the weight, but also learning that I'm defined by more than just a number on a scale. I used to weigh myself daily, even during my pregnancies. I haven't stepped on a scale once this whole pregnancy, except for when the doctor makes me. And when I do, I come home and it is what the number says, but I don't let it define me. And I don't know if that makes an impact on anyone here, but for me, I would come home depressed from my doctor's appointments. I don't feel that out of control, crazy feeling. And so it's just been a huge transformation for me in those ways. So I'm going to hand it over to Michelle now, let her share.
See why I love these ladies. I get all emotional and wanting to cry when I hear their stories, because when you're so broken that every minute of every day you're telling yourself you're horrible, you're ugly, I hate you, I wish you were never born. When you're struggling at a point like that and you realize that your yes brought all of this to happen, it's one of the most humbling things. Because when I first started this journey, I hated myself. I hated everything about myself. I have 9 sisters, and a lot of my sisters have battled obesity their entire life. My mom is obese, and I would have people from a young age say, oh, you're pretty. And in a quiet corner, you're the prettiest one. They'd tell me that. Who says that to a kid? But in my head, it was my identity in my family. I was the pretty one. So as soon as I started gaining weight after I went through puberty, suddenly I became the one who was going to be ugly and no longer the pretty one. And what did that mean? It meant I was no longer be lovable. No one would ever want me. All these things started going through my head. And so I started battling an eating disorder. An eating disorder I battled on and off and throughout the years. And I was really strongly battling at the time that I started Beachbody, and I knew that something had to change. I knew that I had to just really give my kids a better legacy than the one that I was leaving. So I did my first challenge, and the first thing that I did was, it was so nice, is I followed the plan. I followed the chart. I could look at it and be like, this is the workout I do today. This is the workout I do tomorrow. And I am not a trainer. I don't know anything about that stuff. But guess what? I discovered that I can be strong. I discovered that I can have beautifully shaped arm muscles, which I'd never had in my entire life. And I discovered that I could have abs. I mean, who would have thought at that time, was after 5 children, and then rediscovered them again after child number 6, that I could find that. So for me, I discovered a new form of sexy. Not sexy like, oh, look at that body, look at those parts, but sexy in the sense of confident. I wear my shirts, I show my shoulder, never would have done that before. But for me, this is me being confident in who I am and in the love that my husband and I have, the fact that our marriage has been healed, the fact that, and we have really, really tough marriage, and we were really struggling at the time that I started this. But guys, it is a complete transformation, and it starts right here. And it starts with the support, and it starts with pushing play every day when we just don't feel like it. It starts with what everyone was saying: progress, not perfection, not being afraid of failure. You know, and when we come to that, then I want to ask, you know, the final, you know, one of the biggest questions. We actually put our last two questions together, and that is, you know, we've explained why we're coaching, why we love what we do. We want to explain now what our life has looked like since we've become a coach on the business side of it, and what our biggest objection was. So guys, I want you to share what your biggest objection was and how your life business-wise looks different. So, Angie.
Okay, so my life business-wise, so my biggest objection was I didn't want to buy Shakeology. With 9 kids, or at that time 8 kids, and pregnant, I have a very strict budget for my food, and I didn't want to pay for Shakeology. It was too much money. But I wanted to keep being in the groups, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And so I paid for Shakeology and decided to become a coach because I was going to pay for it. I was going to have my Shakeology paid for. And that's what it does now. I pay for that, and I pay for a couple of the bills around our house now. I've been a coach for 2 years, and I can pay for some of our bills. I don't pay for all of their bills by any stretch of the imagination. But one of the cool things, I mean, I love Shakeology, and I let my kids drink it, and everybody in the house has it because it's healthy. It's like our little multivitamin as far as I'm concerned. But one of the cool things that has happened is that because I'm reading so much personal development about having a business and being a manager and how to run social media stuff and all this fun stuff, which I love to learn. My husband's a manager at work. And so we spend all this time like talking manager stuff and talking business stuff and it's like a whole another thing opened up in our marriage where we're able to talk about new cool things. And you may not be married to someone who's a manager, but like when you learn new stuff, you become a new person. Like I have all this new information, and we get to talk about stuff that I would never have been able to talk about his work with him because I wouldn't have had, I would have read mom books or I would have read homeschooling books. Now I'm reading like business manager, social media awesomeness. And I have all kinds of information to give him now. Like, you should do this and you should do that. And you should I have all the answers. But when he has a problem at work, he actually trusts me and comes to me and we talk about it. And it helps. It helps both of us. And I get to talk about all this stuff with him. And it's like a whole new world for us. So that's the social media sharing on that has been a big part of my life. But this has been very cool in my marriage and strengthening my relationship with him. Okay. Who's next? Eileen, you're next?
Yeah, I'm up. So my biggest objection was the money thing. Like my husband and I both work full-time ministry in a church, and we don't make a lot of money, but our reward is in heaven. So we're not upset about it. But we do have to really budget really wisely on our expenses. And when I first started, my husband was supportive, but I promised him I was going to cover my Shakeology. And then we ended up signing him up because he was drinking my shakes. And so now we both do Shakeology, and it's great because he's a coach on my team. So it helps because we want the discount for both of us. But it's fun, to have my husband support me in this, and he'll ask oh, hey, how's your business going this week? And it's just fun, because I'm we both work full time, but this is something I do on the side that I'm really excited about. Not that I'm not excited about my ministry that I do, but this is something I'm this is helping me and it's helping other people in a totally different way than I ever would have expected to be helping people. And so it's fun to do that. And we set up a separate bank account, and it's titled Dream Big. And so it's been fun to see that climb. And I don't know, it's not huge, but my husband's always whoa, how did you make this much in 6 months? And I'm I don't know. I'm just helping people. And it's just so fun to be a part of something this exciting and awesome, and just the joy of all the people on our team is just contagious and has really poured into my life a lot. And it inspires me to pour into other people's lives. And it's just been huge for me. And I can say that because of that, it's also really helped my marriage, because I just feel like more confident, like in who I am, and especially as a child of God, like, because that really lost on me a little bit after I had my baby. And I keep saying baby, she's a toddler now, but like after I had her, I really went through that whole emotional roller coaster of like, who am I now that I'm wife and mom, and, and not confident in my body. And God has really transformed me through this journey. And I want to share with everybody. It's just something that I see myself doing long term. And I'm grateful for the way that it's financially helped my family. So it's awesome. And Holly, you're up.
My kids might bombard me. I'm really sorry. So as far as the business, the biggest objection I had was finances, just like everybody else. And one thing that's really cool is now that I'm able to kind of bring on some awesome new mamas to my team, it's helping me pay for my Shakeology, which helps my husband and I budget so much. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity. The business-wise aspect, I never realized that the personal development that I have gone through has really helped me as a professional, especially as a nurse. This is life, sorry. It's helped me reach for different things in my career and move past the insecurities that I have, thinking that I'm not enough as a nurse, as a professional. Nora, please sit down. So I think that the biggest thing for me that the business has brought in is a confidence, and it's brought in me the ability to talk professionally with different people at work. It's helped me grow in that. It's helped my marriage in a sense, because I've learned how to prioritize. One second. And so I've gone on more dates in the last year than I have probably in the first 4 years of my marriage, which is really cool to say. I'm more a patient mom to bedtime breakdown. Sorry. And I love that I have the support and understanding from all of you who are patient with me. But the one nice thing is that in this world of judgment, this is a really great place for a soft landing. When you feel like you are being judged, walking out of your house every day, you can hop on and you can be real with your team members and know that they have probably had a day like I am having right now. And they're there for you. And then you don't reach, for the cupboards after the kids fall asleep or things like that, they used to be my go-to. So I think that just learning how to embrace my life in the fullness that it is, in the crazy chaoticness, and learning to love every moment has brought me so much peace. And that's why God created us, to have community, be able to share with one another, be there to support each other, and to help each other grow and succeed. That's what we need as women. We need to band together and not compete against each other. Your success is my success, and that's how we should view each other. So, Rebecca?
All right, I'm in the same boat. It's part of it. It's bedtime. Some of us have kids. It's just part of it. So when I was looking at this question, how's my life different now that I'm a coach, I literally just wrote down, wow, because it's just different. It's really, really hard to explain because there's so many different ways that you're changed when you start working on yourself and you start helping other people that I didn't even know were possible. I thought, oh, I'm good. I'm in a little bit of a funk. I just need to get, a little healthy and lose some weight and get my blood work good, and I'm good. I didn't realize that I really had, I knew I loved to serve others and help others, but I didn't really realize how much that was missing in my life, because I grew up in a funeral home, which is a service-oriented industry. You serve families, you help people in a huge time of need. And so I did that my whole life with my parents. And so then when I got out and got in corporate America, I didn't realize how much I was missing that. So I started this, and this is a service, like we provide a service to people and we help people. It's like a ministry. We're just helping people on their journey while we work on our own. So anyway, how it has made my life different is, I kind of touched on that before. I'm more patient with my kids. My marriage is better just because I'm taking better care of myself. I'm in a much better place, so I'm able to be there for them and for my husband as she empties the thing of chapstick on her lips. And as far as the money goes, I've been able to help out with extra expenses. I didn't even get into it for that reason. I mean, I remember, I think the first few months I was like, oh my gosh, I would do this for free. This is fun. Like, it is a lot of fun. You get together in these groups with a bunch of women and we share and we talk about things, and it's just nice. Right, Rosie? She agrees. So the extra cash has been really nice. My husband has been very happy about that, and it's been good. So anyway, let me see. The only other thing I was going to say is that honestly, it's setting a better example for my kids too. I work out with my kids. I work out in front of my kids. They see when I'm sitting on my computer or my phone, I'm sitting there helping other people on their journey. Like, my boys get it. You know, they're like, what are you doing, Mommy? I'm like, oh, I'm plugging into our fit club. And they're like, oh, you're helping people on their fitness journey? Yes, I am. And they really talk about more and more. I mean, we tried to eat healthy before, but I mean, I'll be at the grocery with them, and Kate, my oldest, will be like, can we get this is a superfood? And I'm like, oh, yes, like, I'm doing my job. You know, it's just, it changes your family. Like, it just does. It carries over. When you start working on yourself, it carries over to everybody else that you're around, whether it's friends, family, coworkers. It's just nice. There's a nice ripple effect there. Anyway, okay, I was gonna keep it short. Kelly, your turn.
No, this is awesome. So for me, my biggest objection should have been money, because we didn't have it, but it was fear of what people would say. My husband and I always did ministry. When I first signed up to do a Beachbody challenge group, I hid the box. Like I was afraid people would judge me. That's how afraid I was of other people's opinions, and what other people thought. And honestly, it just taught a lot about what I thought, you know. And what I found was through coaching, so at first it was more of a hobby. You know, I'd like to help a few people because I loved that challenge experience. And if I could help cover our costs of Shakeology, it would be good. But my husband also was in ministry. He worked for a nonprofit. He has worked in nonprofits. Now he's an elementary school principal, but with a family of 5+ kids, I was tired of seeing that I had stopped working to stay home. So he took on all these extra jobs. And there was a point in time where he was gone for 2 months straight every single weekend doing retreats on the side so that we could make ends meet. And we still weren't. And I was tired of it. And at that point, I had some of the women that we have been mentored by who were sharing opportunities to get a little more training and growing the business side. And I thought, this is a gift. Like, I should tap more into this. And so that's when I kind of took it more as a business, in a sense of trying to build that income from home. So as you can see, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, but you don't always have to start out with like one thing in mind. And I got inspired to step out of my comfort zone because I wanted my husband to be home. And I'll never forget, like 2 years into it, he was able to go back into schools because I had matched his side income of all those side things he was doing, so he could start saying no. And so this business has blessed us financially. I've seen a lot of families who do ministry, and like you said, Eileen, I'm not complaining. We loved it, and I want my husband to be involved in parochial schools as long as he wants, and not feel like we also can't have a big family. And I have, this past year, 2 of my sons had diagnosis with special learning needs, and they needed tutoring and OT and speech. And it was amazing to be able to say, like, I got this. I felt like empowered in a healthy way that I could bless our family and pay for their services, and it not be like putting it on a credit card or stressing my husband out to find another job. This is the first summer he's actually getting off a month because in schools they close. But that used to be, oh, school's closed, I got to go get another job. But he's not. We're heading to New Orleans for 2 weeks and then going to South Carolina for a week. We've never done that. He's actually nervous. He doesn't know what he's going to do because he's like, I've never not worked for and I know if I don't get him out of town, he'll go to work. So, but for me, I would say, like, yes, my confidence level has grown because I realized that, like, I saw too many moms, women who were stuck in the situation I was stuck in. And if I could learn to build something in the mom cracks or in smaller amounts of time that could help my family and help others, it empowered me and inspired me to want to do more because it's not about me. And yeah, people have been rude and I've had people judge, but I've learned through growing that it's not me. Like, a lot of times they're just where I was when I started and I judged it all myself. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that would be kind of what my objection was and my fear. And then in turn, how it's blessed us so much through, and I'm home. And that to me, means the world. So, Michelle.
Awesome. I love that. And I love how you've been able to help take care of your kids and find such freedom through this. Obviously, team freedom, right? Fearless freedom family, overcoming fear, finding freedom, daring to dream. So for me, my biggest objection with this whole thing, obviously I had a really, really bad self-image when I started. So my biggest rejection was fear was a fear of rejection.
Kevin.
Fear of rejection. Terrified of I was terrified of what other people would think, and people saying no to me. If I were to ask someone if they wanted to buy a challenge pack and they were to say no, to me that was a direct rejection of me not wanting the challenge pack. That's how I took it. So I had to learn personal development. It changed my life. Everyone keeps saying personal development. I'll tell you what, I didn't read very much, but when I did, it was a clean romance novel that I would sit and I would read cover to cover within 24 hours, wherever I was, I would be sitting there reading the book. And so the idea of reading personal development was boring to me. That was the word that I would have used, is boring. I don't want to read a boring book. But when I reached a point where I realized that I cared so much about what other people thought that I was trapped in my own head, I knew something had to change. So I started listening to personal development, and again, every single day. So my life has changed. My marriage has changed. My husband and I both listen to personal development. He'll download, he drives in the car all the time on his sales appointments, and he'll be like, oh my gosh, Michelle, I downloaded this new book. You got to listen to it, And we're both learning and growing, and it's a struggle. It's a bunch of daring to dream. Guys, this business is, it can be easy for some people, but for a lot of us, the business side of it, it's a journey. It's climbing a mountain. And what we have to remember, what I've had to remind myself is I'm climbing a mountain with these amazing ladies. And, for me, I've talked to Kelly and I said, I don't really feel successful. There have been days where I haven't felt successful, and it's honestly, my family struggles financially. We've had a lot, my husband's job, the way things are set up. We made a really bad decision with the way we set up our business. We're hit with a huge tax bill in 2013 that we're still paying. And there's some times in the year where I just want to cry because I feel like we just have nothing. And so Summer Tucker, one of our uplines, challenged us to look at our back office and see how much we've made since we started. Guys, I calculated that I've made almost $90,000 in the last 4.5 years. That has helped our family to stay afloat. That has helped us during the times when we would have been on food stamps or something else. And while I'm seeing other people do all these extra fun things with their money, it was really good for me to sit back and see that sometimes success doesn't look like that. Sometimes it looks like being able to help pay bills, And then on the cool side of it, I have been able to travel. I never traveled by myself to do anything fun. And the first Summit conference I went to was in Las Vegas. And I had to travel to Las Vegas. And I thought I was doing something naughty for a little bit. I was like, I'm traveling by myself to Las Vegas, And of course I worked the entire time, and it was so much fun. But because of this opportunity, we have had the opportunity to travel, to meet some of these ladies who I had never met, that I only met on Facebook, to meet in real life, to grow together, to learn together, and to help step outside of myself and learn what leadership really is. Personal development, guys. Learn what it means to be a leader, which, you know what? Well, most of us, if you've read the Bible, it's to lay your life down for your friends. That's it right there. And this group right here, bringing it all back full circle. I will lay down my life when in any way I can for these ladies. And I know we have some gentlemen on the team too, but I think we're mostly ladies on here tonight. So what we want to do is just really quickly share with you how you can actually get started. And Kelly's going to kick that off. And then we're going to open it up for some Q&A here in a little bit.
So we've shared our hearts and kind of the fun and the ups and the downs. And I'm going to quickly, because I know we've been, we've been timing ourselves, and honestly, it's just hard. There's a lot to share. But how do you get started? So here's the not fun part that I get to do. And the reason I say it's not fun is because it's just numbers, but I think they're important. And so I'm going to share them. And if you have any other questions, your coach can follow up with you, talk to you about the details, help you through all of that process too. But to get started as a coach, it's a $40 investment to sign up. That is just to get your coach starting kit. They send you like some training DVDs and get your website set up and things for you. Beachbody provides you with a website for your products and things. So they keep all the products at Beachbody headquarters. You don't have to stock things at your house. I've heard of businesses where that's not required. There's no like, you have to invest this much and have this much product at your house. If you purchase a challenge pack in the last 30 days, or if you purchase a challenge pack at the time you sign up, they waive the $40 fee. Or if you're active military, they waive the $40 fee too. So that's definitely something you want to talk to your coach about when you're signing up, to get the paperwork filled out for that. Beyond that, what is required is every month we have a $16 fee that's a coach membership fee. And what that pays is it pays Beachbody to handle customer service, handle shipping, upkeep our website. They take care of any issues we have. If someone has a problem, we can connect them with the right people to get things returned or replaced. And that's a huge blessing. If I had to stock product in my home or have to ship it out myself, even shipping samples can be overwhelming sometimes for me. So that's for every month. And then to stay active as a coach, by drinking Shakeology every month, you meet the volume requirements to be active. We're not required to sell a certain amount. You set your goals. Like, it's up to you. You can set those goals, like a lot of coaches have shared, to cover your costs, but it's not like requirements. So that's kind of the basis of the cost, so to speak. And then there's kind of a couple different tracks that you can go. Like we shared, some of us signed up for the discount. Some of us, it's like a hobby. And for some of us, it's a business building, but that's your choice. And so your coach can navigate these steps with you to help you get the right start, to the team and help you, tap into that.
So your three types of, the three types of coaching, I like to jump the gun, man. It's that you'll learn about personalities if you join our team, and there's what we call the Ruby or the direct. So I have to harness myself sometimes. Anyway, there's three types of coaches that you can become. So first of all, we have people on our team who join just because they want the community and the support, and they're what we call discount coaches. So I'm sure if you've ever used other products, I know I've used other products from other companies, you can sign up to get the discount. That's basically what it is. You sign up to coach, you get the discount, and you enjoy the community, and you don't have to worry about actually selling anything or doing anything as far as building a business. It's really honestly you working on you with some extra support and encouragement. The second way is as a hobby coach. So that's someone who maybe wants to pay for their Shakeology, somebody who maybe wants to get a little extra money for vacation, or maybe you want to buy a new car, and so you want to get enough money to pay for a new car. But it's not really every day digging in and building your business, which is what a business builder is. A business builder is someone who really says, you know what, I need the extra income, or I want the extra income. I want to build this business. I want to have my own team, and I want to do what it takes to get there. So people who would sign up to actually build the business are what we call business builders. So we have certain steps we walk you through, and we have trainings we offer to you, and you do it at your own pace. No one's going to push you or make you do anything. That's the cool thing about this. Guys, I've worked in the corporate world, and I've had some managers that were really hard to work for. And with all the leadership training that we've had through this, the really cool thing that I've learned is we have to learn to inspire and to motivate. But building the business, it's up to us. It's up to us to take the steps. And so no one's telling us what to do. We're just digging in and growing and learning together. So that is how you sign up, and you just have to decide what's going to be the best fit for you. And if you start off as a discount coach, it doesn't mean you can't be a business builder or hobby coach. You know what? There's no rules. There's no hard line, fast rule, fast whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
Michelle, that was what I was going to touch on real quick. Is depending on the phase of life that you're in, you can start out wanting to be Like for me, I initially started out discount coach, then hopped into being a business builder. And honestly, we've had a lot of stuff going on in our life this past year, and I kind of fell back to being a little bit of a hobby coach. So it's like whatever the phase of life you're going through, there's that flexibility that's there. So
it's not going anywhere.
Nice. No, it's
and you have a whole team of people to help you. If you sign up coaches and you're struggling, I'll tell you real quick, and I know we need to wrap this up, but you have a really good point, Rebecca. I had really bad postpartum depression and anxiety from August through pretty much into April. And if it wasn't for Kelly and some of the other coaches on this team picking up and helping with my coaches, I probably would have quit, because I was in a really bad spot. But that's the cool thing, is that exactly what Rebecca said. It's a team effort. We're all here together, and there's no right way. There's no one way. And that can change. So
if you guys have any questions, I know this has been a lot of information. You're welcome to put them in the chat. We want to thank you all for being here and taking this time. I know it was a little bit of a longer call, but this is this panel style. It's our first time kind of experimenting with it to show you the different journeys that are a part, just a sample really of our team. And if you want to, listen to the call again, if you want to discern or whatever, it has been recorded. So we're happy to send a copy of it to you when it's uploaded and stuff. But thank you guys so much for being here. It's just been a blessing. We have our team calls usually on Monday nights, and I always laugh that I can't go to bed after them because my heart's always just really overflowing. But if you have questions, feel free to type them. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and let you guys go so you can, put your babies to bed and or whatever it is the evening time routine is. Can you tell I'm a routine person? I'm an emerald.
You'll learn all about that. No, honestly, this whole experience is about filling our cup by, as moms, we are nurturers. Psychology today, I know as Christians we always believe that as well, but as psychology today says, women are born natural nurturers, and that means that we are going to give, and take care of, and often we forget to take care of ourselves. But this whole journey we're on, everything we're doing between the business and the fitness and the health, it's taking that, like when you're on an airplane, they say if the oxygen masks come down, put it on yourself before your kid. It's taking that oxygen mask, putting on ourselves, and breathing, so that we have the life to give to the others who are depending on us. That's really what it is. So awesome. Well, if we don't have any questions, we're going to go, and I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But if you have any questions, reach out to the coach who invited you. We'll get you a copy of this. If you want to have a copy of this, or if you have a friend that might benefit from it, please feel free to share that with them as well. But we hope to welcome you to our team. And thanks for taking the time tonight. And guys, panelists, thank you for shining your light tonight. You are beautiful, beautiful women from the inside out. Thank you.
Yes.
Have an awesome night, guys.
Take care.